We understood the major functions of international banking. Okay, what is the major functions? That is facilitate import and exports. That is trade financing. Okay, then arranging foreign exchange. These are all the functions of international bank. Okay, borrow and lend in euro currency market. Okay, assisting hedging exchange rate risk. So we have understood what is hedging in risk management topic. Okay, hedging means minimizing the risk. Okay, there are various techniques for hedging the foreign exchange risk, like entering into forward contract. Okay, you can enter into an options contract. All this thing we have discussed in the risk management technique. So assisting hedging exchange rate risk is a function of international banking. Then important function is facilitating export and import, that is known as trade financing. So in this we have discussed the trade finance. See, trade financing can be in this categories: export finance, import finance, okay, international merchant banking, financing for project exports, then derivatives and remittances. So we were discussing in the previous class, that is export finance. So here you have to note down some important thing. I think we have discussed this, just we will go through this already. So trade finance to exporters known as export finance. You can write and keep. Finance given to exporters is known as export finance, and trade finance given to importers is known as import finance. So this can be an important question. Trade finance to exporters, export finance. Trade finance to importers, import finance. Clear? Then there are various methods how export finance is available. They are pre-shipment finance, means before export. Pre-shipment means before export. Post-shipment means post-export. Okay. Export bill rate discounting, gold card scheme, term loans, and LC for project exports. Okay. So what is pre-shipment finance? Financial assistance prior to shipment of goods. Okay. So before export, if bank is giving any financial assistance to exporter, it is known as pre-shipment finance. Note and keep: any financial assistance given prior, that is before to the shipment, okay, that is known as pre-shipment finance. Okay. Pre-shipment finance is offered to boost the exports, means encourage the exporters and to make the export price competitive. Okay, so before export, what all functions will be done? That is purchase of raw materials, manufacturing, packing of goods, etc. Okay, so these are all activities which are done before export. Okay, raw material should be purchased, manufacturing should be done, then goods should be properly packed, then only it can be loaded in ship. No? So for all these activities, financial assistance is given. This is known as pre-shipment finance. And here one term is there. Pre-shipment finance is also known as packing credit. Note and keep. It can be important for examination. That pre-shipment finance is also termed as packing credit. Okay. Then next is, for how many days pre-shipment finance is given? 180 days. So you have to repay the amount within 180 days. Very important. 180 days from the date of disbursement. So if bank is giving pre-shipment finance to any exporters today, it should be repaid within 180 days. Very important. And in exceptional cases, it can go up to 270 days. So in exceptional cases, bank will extend up to 270 days. Okay, so pre-shipment finance is available for only 180 days from the date of disbursement. In exceptional case, it can go up to 270 days. So these 2 days are very important. So next type of export financing is post-shipment. Now we have understood pre-shipment means before the export. Post means after the export. Okay, so before export, we have understood what all expenses will be incurred by the exporter, that is manufacturing, packing, etc. Okay, so any financial assistance availed after shipment is post finance. Post shipment finance. So before shipment, pre-shipment. After shipment, it is known as post shipment. Okay, so post shipment credit is offered to exporter to finance export sales receivable after the date of shipment of goods. Okay, now normally export transactions are on credit basis. Okay, that if exporter will export, he will get payment after 3 months, 6 months, etc. So till that time, exporters' money is blocked, So export transactions are on credit basis. That after 3 months, 6 month times, opposite party will make the payment. So till that time, if exporter requires money, he can approach the bank, and bank will give him the post shipment finance. That is, finance the export sales receivables. That is amount which he have to receive from foreign country party, that will be financed, which is known as post shipment. Okay, after the date of shipment of goods till the date of realization of the export proceeds. Okay, now very important, this finance is availed on submission of a document evidencing export. So for availing post-shipment finance, you should submit documents which will prove that you have exported the goods. Okay, like various customs papers, etc. are there. That all you have to submit to prove that you have exported the goods, and this much amount you will receive from the opposite party. Okay, then based on that, bank will give him the post-shipment finance. The export documents are to be submitted within 21 days for availing the post-shipment finance. Okay, so if any exporter wants post-shipment finance, he has to submit all the documents within 21 days from the date of shipment of goods. Clear? So pre-shipment means to help the exporters in cost, that is purchase of raw material, manufacture, packing, etc. All that activities which are done before the export. And post shipment means paying the amount receivable, okay, from the foreign party. That is post shipment, but it is available only based on proper document submitted. Okay, various customs document you have to submit it, which will prove that actual export has been done, and is that to be submitted within 21 days. So based on that, exporter can get the post shipment finance. Gold card scheme approved by RBI. So another export financing is gold card scheme approved by RBI. Okay. As per guidelines of RBI, most Indian banks have launched the gold card for credit-worthy exporters. So gold card scheme is available only for credit-worthy exporters. Clear? So this is very important. So as per guidelines of RBI, most Indian banks have launched gold card for the credit-worthy exporters. So gold card scheme available only for credit-worthy exporters. Eligible exporters get better terms of credit, including rate of interest than those extended to other exporters. So benefit of gold card scheme is that if exporter is an eligible exporter, he will get better terms of credit. Okay, that is lower interest rate, etc., compared to other exporters. So for that, exporter should be credit-worthy exporter. So if we want to apply in gold card scheme, one condition is that he should be a credit-worthy exporter. Okay. So gold card scheme is applicable to whom? Credit-worthy exporters. And benefit is that they will get better credit rates, including rate of interest. So this scheme is normally for 3 years to the credit-worthy exporters. So these credit-worthy exporters for a period of 3 years, and it can be extended further to 3 years based on some fulfillment of conditions. Clear? So normal credit gold card scheme is applicable for 3 years to credit-worthy exporters. Then it can be extended to further 3 years. So they get various benefits compared to other borrowers. Then other type of finance is term loan. So term loan, everybody know term loans are provided to small and medium enterprise to upgrade their export production capability. So term loans are provided to small and medium enterprises. Clear? For what purpose it is provided? To upgrade their export production capability. Okay, to increase their capacity. Term loans are provided especially to small and medium enterprises. Okay, banks also provide term loans to Indian exporters and export-oriented units. Export-oriented units are those units which are fully into export. 100% export-oriented units means they will not sell their goods in India. All the goods they are producing will be exported only. They cannot sell in India. Okay. If A business is known as EOU. Okay, it cannot sell goods in India. It will have to export all the goods. That is known as 100% export oriented units. Okay, suppose if you have taken EOU permission license, then you cannot sell your goods in India. You will have to export the goods only. Such type of business are known as export oriented units. Okay. There are various concession available for export oriented units. So, but they have to fulfill some conditions also. So for what purpose term loans are provided? Say computer software projects, consultancy, okay, and other such kind of services, either by Exim Bank alone or in syndication with commercial banks. So term loan is normally provided by Exim Bank. Right, and keep Exim means Export Import Bank. Exim means Export Import Bank. It is known as Exim, Export Import. They are basically for providing export import finance. Okay, and LC means letter of credit. Right, and keep LC with reference to export means letter of credit. LC means what? Letter of credit. Okay, so this is about export finance. So today we will stop here. In the next class, we will see about the import finance. So this much clear, everybody.